Good afternoon. So let's go. I am your host, Dr. Sandy DeLeese, and welcome to the fifth. Tonight, and only tonight, we are going to be talking about singleness. Yes, singleness. Why are you single? Not so much why are you single, but what does it mean to be single? What does singleness mean to you? Right? So different people, many people have different ideas about what singleness looks like. Okay. Singleness can look the same depending on your age. Singleness could look the same depending on where you're from. Singleness could look the same depending on experiences and what you've been through. Okay. So you just talk about what does singleness mean and what does it mean to be single. All right. So maybe some people are single. They've been single for a while. Some people are newly single. It doesn't mean that they were married. It just means they're newly single, as in they may have been in a relationship, whether long or short, and they consider themselves to be single, right? And some people have these things that they call situationships. All right. Situationships. You're not technically seeing someone, but you're kind of sort of seeing someone. You're not really committed to someone. You're not committed to anyone romantically, but there's some level of commitment there for that situationship. All right. There's a thing where you have it's going to be a situationship, or it's either going to just be a one night stand, but it can't be both. All right. So you define for yourself, what does it mean to be single and how single are you? Okay. Some people, like myself, are single. We see our singleness as a way for us to find our purpose. We see our singleness as a way for us to replenish ourselves, grow ourselves, really get to know yourself on a different level than the person that you thought you were when you were in a relationship before. And I'm talking about a serious, committed relationship. All right. Some people, as myself, take this time to just explore self discovery and go on this journey. Okay. Um, you kind of get into this place that I talk about when I was on another podcast, talk about a place of solitude, right? We're not talking about isolation. Okay. You're not keeping yourself away from other people intentionally for a bad reason. You're not keeping yourself intentionally from other people because you just don't feel like being bothered. You're in solitude because there is a place that you see yourself wanting to get to in your singleness, right? So you take on this journey, okay? Interested in really you're not really interested in being with someone. You're not really interested in dating anyone. You're not really interested in being anything committed because you are single and content. Okay. Single and content. It just means that where I am right now, I'm good. I don't need any attachments. All right. You're not lonely. You're not looking for love. You're just on this journey to personal growth and personal development. Okay. And some people see that singleness in the fashion that I'm talking about as being boring. You know, they don't want to be a part of it. They're like, nah, I hear you. Like, I hear you. You're good being by yourself. But me, I got to have somebody connected to me. All right. You can go with all of this. You're happily independent, you know, but, to each his own. To each his own. Okay. On this show right now with me, I'm not really on here to convince you that the way that you want to be single is wrong. I'm not really on here for you to convince me that the way that I want to be single is wrong. Right now, it's just an open conversation, to each his own. Okay. So this single and content is just a personal journey. I am able to explore all the things that I want to explore than I didn't before. As I've gone through life, different encounters, different situations have come up in my life, right? I'm at a place where I can do what I want to do, go where I want to go, not do what I don't want to do. If I don't feel like people in, I don't have to people. If I don't feel like being bothered, I don't have to be bothered. Okay. For some people, they might be like, hey, I could still do that if I'm in a relationship. Guess what? To each his own. To each his own. If that's the level that you're going to be on, and that's the level of commitment and the level of trust and the level of respect that you and whoever you are with, that's the way y'all exploring it, then so be it. Okay. So that's just people as myself that's on this journey of I am here. I'm loving the life that I live. I'm loving the space that I'm in. This journey that I'm on is on 100 miles and running. I'm content and I'm not even worried about it. Okay. All right. So as I shift, I want you to just think about, what does single mean to you? How would you define your single? Okay. Are you defining single for yourself? Or are you defining single according to what society perceives you to be? Okay. Society can have a whole different meaning of what you think or how you've grown up and known single to be. In this day and age, it's almost to the point where like anything goes. Anything goes. You want to be with this person, you can. You want to be with these people, you can. No matter what, anything goes. And that's just, it seems to be the way that life is today. It's like there's no rules, there's no boundaries, anything goes, so whatever floats your boat, whatever it is that you want to do, like I said, there's no judgment from me this way. All right. So when you look at how society perceives some relationships, some societal perceptions might say that singleness is bad, and some might say singleness is good. They might view it in a negative tone. All right. If society perceives singleness as being negative, they're probably thinking you're single because you're hard to please. Nobody can make you happy. Okay. Nobody. All right. You want what you want. Okay. And you want it when you want it. You're not able to agree with somebody else coming into your life, even if they add to your life. You're just hard to please. You're probably in a sense where people might look at it and say you can't be with anybody because you want to be alone. You might be controlling. Okay. If you can't have it your way, then you are going to be single. All right. Sometimes society might look at you and think that you're single because you just want to be miserable. All right. You can't be with somebody because you're just simply miserable. And that's just the different ways that society looks at being single. And we're not talking about just either being single or being married. We're just talking about how you define being single and how society can see you being single as negative. I also know there's people that if you are in your singleness and you decide that you want to be in your singleness by yourself, you don't need to be with anybody, then there's something wrong with that. You're not really on a personal journey. You're not really on a personal growth. There's nothing that you're going to learn about yourself by being by yourself. Some people have that thought process. All right. Me personally, that's not my ministry. That's not for me. All right. I am a person in the singleness that believes that, yes, okay, when I've been through being in a relationship for X amount of years, I don't see me jumping back into something and being able to figure out who I am. I just don't, because I've already been connected and tied to somebody else for X amount of years. And when you're in that situation, depending on the different things, let me just say the different situations that you deal with, you might find out some things about yourself that is totally outside of the way you want to act. Okay. Because people usually say that's outside of my character. Yes, I do believe it is outside of the way that you would like to be. It is outside of the way that you don't normally live, you know, but we're not perfect. Okay. We are not perfect. And I don't have a character of malice. I don't have a character of negative intentions. I don't have a character of just want to treat somebody badly. But when you get into situations and you let your emotions get the best of you, then you tend to behave in a way that is uncharacteristic of what you do on a normal day. Okay. So that space that I'm going to take for myself when I am no longer in that relationship for me is very necessary. Very necessary. Okay. I need time to regroup. Okay. I need time to reset. I need time to align myself with who I am, with what I want for myself, and where I am going. Okay. Because believe it or not, while you're dealing with situations of regrouping and going on a personal journey, if you have a job, for instance, that you have to go through every day, you're dealing with those relationships at your job. Okay. You're dealing with the idea of regrouping and being on this journey of finding yourself. And then on top of that, you're adding somebody else in. Okay. I don't really see that I'm going to be able to connect with myself on the level that I can if I have to go to work. But once work is over and I come back home and I don't have any situations or relationships that I need to be involved in and give more of my time to, all right, then I'm able to sit and just be with myself. Okay, I can sit and I can be with myself. Okay, I can reflect on where I've been. I can reflect on different situations and think about what I've been through and how I want to do something else differently. Okay, I can reflect on myself and think about where I'm going, how I'm going to get there, on me, and how the different situations that I've been in the past can help shape the ideas and the decisions that I make as I move forward in the event that I decide that I want to be in a different relationship. Okay. I can't figure out what relationship I want to be in or how I'm going to be in a relationship as soon as I jump out of this one and jump into another one. Because while I'm still trying to figure out this situation from my past, I'm now trying to put my best foot forward to deal with my current situation. So, like I said, to each his own. But for me, I'm not in the ministry of jumping out of this relationship to get into this relationship, to get into this relationship, in order for me to be able to progress, in order for me to find my personal growth. Because there's no way that you can grow with somebody else when your life is stagnant. Okay. There's no way that you can grow. When you're in a relationship with somebody else and you haven't given yourself time to grow, that person that's growing is not you. It's an idea of who you want to be in that relationship. Because the person that you are when you're single is not the same person that you are when you're involved with someone in a relationship. So, in a sense, you're growing a false sense of who you are. Okay. If you find yourself getting angry at the drop of a dime, if you find yourself not being able to work through different problems when you're with this other person, whoever you decide to be with, okay, and you think back that you were treated in a certain kind of way in a past relationship, or you treated somebody somewhere in a past relationship, and now it's surfacing in this new relationship, that's a clear sign that you have not grown as a person for yourself while you're trying to be this certain kind of person for somebody else in this relationship. You know, one of the hardest things that people have to go through is being with a person that is okay with jumping from relationship to relationship to relationship and expecting that that person is going to be able to help you grow. Okay. And it doesn't mean that they're not bringing something good to your life. It just means that you may not be in the space to completely accept what it is they're doing for you to grow in the way that you need to grow. Could you grow financially? Of course. Okay. But are you growing emotionally? Are you emotionally stable in this situation that you've now put yourself into while somebody's pouring and pouring and pouring into you? And yes, you're able to accept it. The question is, for how long? Because it looks good. So the question just is, for how long are you going to be able to maintain living in this life, in this relationship that you've built without ever figuring out why this happened? What did I do? What did this other person do? How do I feel about what happened? What do I do about what happened before I find myself jumping back into this other relationship that I'm in? Okay. So, like I said, everybody has their different ideas about what singleness is. Everybody has a different idea about what singleness looks like to them. All right. So the question is just always, how single are you? Okay. Then the next situation that we talk about is being single. People talk about having situationships. Situationships, right? We're not together. We just go out every now and again. I call them, they come over. They call me, I go over, but we're not dating. We're not together. There is no end game to this. We're just living. This is a situationship. All right. You are not romantically committed or connected to the person that you are giving yourself to. Okay. Because whether or not some people want to accept it, whether you're in a committed relationship, whether you're in a situationship, I'm going to talk about a different type of being single almost coming up to the end. I'm not going to throw this one out there now. Or whether you talk about being single and you're content, you are giving yourself to someone. You're giving yourself to yourself when you're single and you decide that you're not seeing anybody. And then you're giving yourself to someone else when you decide you're going to be in a relationship or a situationship. All right. Being in a situationship, obviously, just like being in a relationship, is a choice. Okay. Being in a situationship, are you there because you're in transition? What are you transitioning from? What are you transitioning to? And while you take this path and this journey along this transition of your life, are you looking for anything? You know, Because when you're in a situationship and you're just going through this space, do you find that your life is meaningful? Honestly meaningful, like genuinely meaningful. Are you giving your time to a situation that you may never get back? And you're not even, you may never get back, you won't get it back. And that goes for any type of relationship. Time is time and time is lost. Time is the one thing that we can't get back. So what are you getting from being in a situationship? Okay? Because you're not looking for love, you're not looking for commitment, you're looking for a companion. But do you know what kind of companion you're getting? When you get into a situationship and you decide this is who I'm going to take this journey with, and then you realize that, you know what? I don't really like this person. I don't really like how this person makes me feel. I don't like what this person brings to me. Then you jump out of that and then you decide you want to be in another situationship, because some people really just don't like being by themselves. Some people have to have someone attached to them. They have to be attached to someone else. No matter what, if you want to call it a situationship, it is still some form of an attachment, because it's not a one-time thing. It's a repeated event. It's your situationship. But how many situationships are you involved with? How many situationships are you involved in? Because if you're in a situationship with this person and you got different situationships, then how many people are you with by yourself? Give or take 3 or 4. I'm just being for an example. And then you're in a situationship with this other person, and they're in a situationship with 3 or 4 people. Would you consider yourself to just be in a situationship with 3 people? Or are you really in a situationship with 7 people? I mean, these are just questions that I'm asking. Just trying to get some clarity on being single and content, being in a situationship. I'm trying to figure out, how single are you, depending on the path that you choose. Okay? So if a situationship is what floats your boat, then I just ask, do you call yourself still being single? All right. You're not looking for love. You're not looking for commitment. You're not looking for romance. You're not looking for anything of longevity. I'm just in a situationship. What is it bringing to you? And what is it doing for you? All right. And then this situation that I'm going to talk about is, this one is different. And it's different because I know there are people out there that probably feels this way about this. This situation that I'm going to talk about is when you you married, follow me, you married, but you still rocking your life like you single. How single are you? Whether you're that person that's at home, taking care of the family, taking care of the home, and this other person is out running the streets or working, and all of your time is spent not together. Some people said that they married, but they still single. And they're not saying it to be disrespectful. They're saying it based on emotions. And then you have people that are married and still living their life as if they're single. How single are you? You know what I'm saying? So when I talk about what does society perceive singleness to be, those are the different situations that come about. Okay. Now, technically, yes, it's common sense. If you're married, you technically cannot be single, right? Legally, by paperwork, you made oaths, you made a vow, you're not single. But in some way, shape, or form, because of the way that your life has played out, because of the way, just like relationships or situationships, time is divided. You know, you feel like you're married, you're married, but you still feel like you're single. Okay, because you're being ignored. You're not being given the time that you think you should have in a marriage. There's excuses that's being made for somebody else to go out and do something else that they have no business doing. Some people probably got whole other lives going on, and you're sitting there preparing a home and taking care of the kids and doing whatever it is. But deep down inside, you know that you feel like you're single because the person that you're really married to doing their own thing on the other end. Okay. So just, how single are you? All right. So it's just some thoughts and some ideas to think about as you transition yourself from whether you're in a relationship and you're moving into singleness, right? You want to think about what form of singleness do I want to be? Okay. If you're in a place where you feel like you're good and you just want to have fun and you want to be involved in situationships, then that's what you do. But you just got to be careful. Okay. Because even those situationships can bring you up to situations that you don't want to deal with, bring you up to situations that you can't handle, bring up to situations where you sink and you don't know how to get out of it. Okay. It doesn't always mean that you're the person that's going to get hurt. You could very well be the person that's hurting somebody else. All right. Because I need to be somewhere where I can figure out in the meantime, while I don't want to be committed, I don't want to be completely attached to anybody. I'm just going to see this person. And when I feel like I'm done, then I'm done. I'm going to exit stage left. But was it clear to that person that you were with that this is just a situation? I don't want anything more. I don't want anything less. Sometimes people said that they're in situationships, but they're still looking for something extra. And that person won't provide it to you because, you said you're just in a situationship. So what you want them to do? Like, what do you really want them to do? There's no commitment. There's no attachment. Okay. This is where people get into this place where they start talking about soul ties. Soul ties, right? Because I do believe there are soul ties. Whether or not you called yourself being in a committed relationship, or if you are in a committed relationship, you are going to make soul ties. You are going to be connected to someone. Just because you're no longer with that person, that connection was already made. You can feel like you're going to forget about it. But unless it's something that happened to you in your childhood, or somebody you met along the way and your life has completely changed, I don't think you ever really forget different situations that you've been into. It may go on a shelf. It might be on the back burner because it's just something you don't need to talk about, but you are still giving this person a piece of you, a part of you, so whether or not you know it, you're connected to them in some way, shape, or form. And that connection that you have with them has shaped something inside of you as you move on through your life. Okay. When you go through personal growth, those are the things that you reflect on. When you go through the different journeys as you increase yourself, those are things that you reflect on. Because something along the way may just remind you of the way that something else or somebody else made you feel. So you don't ever forget all of it. You don't ever get rid of it. You just kind of put it in that space in the back of your mind where you want to forget it. So just for yourself, just realize how single are you, and the way that you define your singleness, be sure that you are content with the way that you define your singleness. Okay, if you're going to be in a committed relationship, then being all into this relationship worth it? You know, are you giving to this person and you feel that they're giving it back to you? Like I had a conversation with a friend. We were talking about being valued, right? So when you're with somebody and you're giving them all of who you are, do you feel like you're being valued in the same way? Okay. And that just goes for whatever singleness you choose, right? Being content, being attached, or having some situationship. Whatever you're in, how does it value your life? What is it doing? Like Jonathan said, it's personal growth. Okay. Some people don't think they need to be in single to have personal growth, you know. But for me, my point and what I look at is personal. It's personal. All right. You can't get that much personal with yourself when there is somebody else attached to you. Because it's only personal for a limited amount of time. Okay. You can't have as much time to yourself single when you're not single compared to when you are single and you want that personal growth, where you want to be on that journey of personal development. All right. So you got to make sure that you are valuing yourself and treating yourself with respect, no matter how single you are. So, however you define single is all up to you. Okay. However you want to define single is all up to you. But be sure that you understand what your singleness means to you. If you're going to be committed, commit to yourself first, right? If you're going to be in a situationship, understand what situation you're getting yourself into. If you're going to be in a relationship, okay, what do you bring? And what you bring, how much do you want it to be reciprocated? Are you giving to get? Are you giving to give? Okay. Because when you give so much of yourself and you don't get it back, can you continue to be that same person and give to that relationship versus what you can give to yourself if you are in your singleness? All right. So, question for tonight is, how single are you? I spoke about being single and content for personal growth, personal development, being happily independent. What are your expectations for yourself? Okay. There's nothing to elaborate on when you talk about a situationship. Do I understand what I'm getting myself into? Do I understand that it's a give, but I may never get a take? Do I understand that I'm going to give, but nothing may ever be given back to me? Right? Are you content with living in that space? Then you talk about probably just being in a situation where you're in a relationship. You're looking for love. All right. You're looking for romance. You're looking to build a future. You're looking for somebody you could spend your life with, grow with, build something with. All right. Those are just different stages of being single. Okay. I fully believe, yes, there is this, you are in a relationship, but you didn't dot the I's and you didn't cross the T. Okay. So you're in a relationship where you're being single, but you're respecting this person that you're with because you guys have come to an understanding. Okay. You're not married. You're single. It doesn't mean that you're going to go off and be disrespectful because the both of you decided we are in a committed relationship, me to you and you to me. So that's just what we're talking about. All right. What's up, Tori? I see you just jumped on. Okay. So it's just tonight. You didn't get the notification. It's all good. I kind of had some technical difficulties anyway getting on. So hey, it's all good. I believe whether you just got a notification now or you didn't get it at all, everything happens for a reason. So whenever you see this podcast or whenever you come across this conversation of how single are you, then this is the time that it was meant for you. So no harm, no foul. Don't even sweat it. When you get it is when you're supposed to get it. That's just the way life goes. That's just the way you move forward. Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens in its perfect time. What's for you is for you. Nobody can take it away. All right. So tonight I just wanted to just, bring to your awareness. Mm, Jonathan said, try being in a relationship with yourself. Listen to me. Listen to me when I tell you this. Being in a relationship with yourself is, and now I'm talking now. I'm talking because Jonathan said, try being in a relationship with yourself. I'm talking to you about me. Being in a relationship with myself has been one of the most amazing, fulfilling, gratifying things, right? And it ain't because you come from a place of, you know, being done wrong or being betrayed or whatever it is you want to talk about. I'm just saying, when you are fully committed, like me, and I'm talking about me right now, I'm speaking to you guys, but this is personal. When you get into a space where you are fully committed to your brand, and I'm talking about the brand of me, my brand, Sandy, it's fulfilling because when I'm growing and I see the positivity, it feels good. When things don't go the way that I thought that it would go and it hurts a little bit, it's on me. But the cool thing about it being on me is that I get to question me. And I don't get to question me to put myself down. I get to question me to build me back up, to figure out, Sandy, why did this happen? Why do you think this didn't happen for you? And what can you do differently? Okay. Tori said, being in a relationship with myself has been amazing. Peace with no distractions. Baby, let me tell you about this thing called peace. You know, when people said, I just want a little piece of peace, listen, this piece right here is a lot of big pieces of peace. And the cool thing about it is you can get it over and over and over and over. Jonathan said, try dating yourself. Try taking yourself out. Try going on outings just you. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. I do all of that. I go out by myself. I take myself out. I work out by myself. I could go eat by myself. I could go play ball by myself. I could ride in the car by myself. I could go walk on the beach by myself. And it ain't no thing because I've done the work and I'm still doing the work to where I am 100% comfortable being with me. Listen to what I'm telling you right now. You want to be in a place. How single am I? I'm so single. I'm comfortable with being with just me. I'm not saying that's what's going to work for you. I'm just telling you, I'm so comfortable being with just me. Sometimes being totally transparent, it's scary. It's scary. Because I low key be in a place right now where I just be like, yeah, it'd be nice to go out with somebody. Yeah, it'd be nice to go. But then I'll be like, nah, this piece that I got, I'm so scared to give it away. I'm so scared to give this piece away. Yes, Tori. It's very scary to give that piece away. And it's also very scary when you so content in your singleness that you just like, man, yeah, he fine. But guess what? That piece look even better. That piece look even better. I'm trying to tell you, you know, tall, dark, and handsome, tall, light skin, pretty eyes, pretty teeth, whatever he got going on. I'm not saying forever. I'm just saying right now, how single am I? I am that single. Ain't no situationship, ain't no relationship. Matter of fact, I just decided I'm on a me ship. Yes, I'm on a me ship. And I'm okay. And if you want to be on a me ship, you absolutely have that choice. All right? Absolutely. Peace and solitude, Tori, say that. Peace and solitude is everything. Okay? But you got to also think about peace and solitude is everything. But do you understand what peace and solitude means to you? Because follow me, you might grab peace and solitude because you're trying to get away from something and you're still on that journey. But you can also have that peace and solitude because you really are truly content in the space that you're in. Okay, let's see. Jonathan said, "This is the most peace I've had in my life in a very long time. Had to learn that peace doesn't mean having everything in life, and it also doesn't mean having a person in my life." Well said. Well said. Nobody ever said somebody else is supposed to bring you peace anyway. Nobody else said that. Because we all know, and we've heard it a million times, if you're an adult and you're watching this, if you are waiting for somebody else to bring you peace, then you're in trouble. That is the part where I talk about how single are you? Because if you need somebody else to bring you peace, then you might want to consider not being in a situationship, and you might want to consider not being in a relationship. Because if somebody else has to bring you peace, there's a whole lot of you that you don't know. There's so much you don't know about yourself. And if you're the first person that don't know how to bring yourself peace, newsflash, you can't bring nobody else peace. Right? Not even a piece of peace. Right? Because if you don't even know how to give yourself peace and you think you're giving somebody else peace, you sucking that little bit that out of yourself that you got for yourself. And that's a bad place to be in. Yeah, God is great. God is great. You know. So, be mindful of what peace means to you. Be mindful of who you go for your peace. Okay? Be mindful of the journey that you're taking to get to your peace. Okay? Because it would be a shame for you to work so hard to get yourself to a place of peace only to throw it away. Okay? So how single are you? Can you find your peace being single and content? Are you able to have peace in situationships? Are you able to have peace being in a relationship? How single are you? Only you can define that for yourself. But I can only tell you if while you're trying to discover how single you are and what a singleness means to you, and whatever situation you're in, situationship or relationship, and you having more unpeaceful days than peaceful days, then it's a time to just sit back and ask yourself, am I in the right place that I should be? Is this ship that I'm on the right ship? Right? Are your sails up, catching wind, or they half mast? Not because you paying honor to something, but you can't get it all the way up because you still got, you're empty or you're on a half a tank. Okay? Can't take a half glass of water and try to fill another empty glass. No matter what you look at it across the board, all those glasses going to be half. Half. Half empty. Half empty. I could say it's half full, but it's all a perspective. I could say it's half full, but if you're emptying yourself to try to fill somebody else's empty cup, then it can't be half full. It's got to be half empty. All right? So, I know we got on here a little late. Some people came a little bit later, and that's cool. But different topics for a different night. Life goes on. All I do is talk about different topics. Okay, sometimes we have some part twos, sometimes we just have one part, and sometimes one part is just enough. All right. So as I leave y'all tonight, I want you to just think about How do you define your singleness? And is your singleness satisfying you? Are you content in the way that you define your singleness? No. And if it feels right, then you continue to do what you're doing. If there's something about this singleness that feels wrong, then chop it up, evaluate the parts, and see what's wrong with it. I'm not saying you got to be by yourself. I'm just saying if you're not by yourself and it don't feel right, then maybe you consider doing something else. Okay? So, consistency. Yes, Tori, being consistent. Be consistent for yourself. Be consistent for yourself. You know, be consistent in pouring into your single self. All right? If I had somebody else sitting next to me, I'm still single. If I had somebody next to me and I'm talking about I'm in this relationship, I'm still single. If I had somebody sitting next to me and I said that I'm married to them, I am still a single person in a marriage. So no matter which way I look at it, I am in a form of a single. And I got to be able to fill this single cup before I can pour anything else into anybody's cup. And there's no way in the world that you should ever treat yourself in a way where you don't allow yourself to fill your cup. And there's no way in the world that you should allow anybody else to pull anything out of your cup. Okay? Small things grow into big things. Okay? It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Whatever journey you on, take your time, build yourself up, give yourself grace. All right? And at the end of the day, you'll be content with what you have, not because you get exactly what you want, but because you took the time to take care of you and give you what you need. All right? Jonathan said you should never have to empty your cup to fill someone else's cup. Boom. Your cup should be overflowing and then they gain from your overflow. I like that. I like that. Fill me up till I overflow. Fill me up till I overflow. And guess what? If you get close enough to me, you might just catch what's falling over. Or I can also make the choice to allow you to get what's coming over. All right. So I like that. Overflow, overflow, overflow. You can't ever go wrong with overflow. Can't ever go wrong with overflow. Okay. If what you're pouring out and coming out of your overflow, somebody don't know what to do with it, then make sure you don't let that overflow drop in their cup, because this is a whole other conversation for a whole other day. Somebody could take something good that you're doing all by yourself and make it into one of the most horrible things, and you'd be like, how did that happen? How did that happen? You know what I'm saying? So protect your singleness. Protect the single person that you are. All right? We came here alone and we're going to leave alone. It doesn't mean that you don't treat others with respect. It doesn't mean that you don't treat others with kindness. It just means that I just know the first person that I got to love, the first person I got to take care of, the first person I got to treat with respect, the first person that I got to make sure is being filled is me. You know? And that's just the only way that you know how to be. And that's not being selfish. If you understand what it means to fill your cup and then unselfishly be able to share with other people that deserves it, then yes, you rocking. All right. So keep in mind, be mindful of how single are you. Okay. Be mindful of the attachments that you make. Okay. Be mindful of the things that you carry along with you just because you don't want to be alone. Okay. Be mindful of the places that you go and the things that you say and the things that you do because you're afraid of being alone. Okay. How single are you? How single are you? Okay. You can be alone and be very single. You could be alone and be not very single. It's all a perspective. And that's all I'm talking about is perspective. I'm not hating on you if you're in a situationship, even if it's not for me. I'm not hating on you if you're in a relationship, which I'm not in or looking for right now. Okay. I'm not hating on you if you just like me and you just want to be single and do you. Okay. There's no judgment over here. I'm just here to hopefully inspire and hopefully empower, and be a voice of everyday people and speak those things that we just think. We talk amongst each other, then we put it out into the universe. All right. Yeah, Tori, you do that. You go watch in the beginning. Go watch in the beginning, and I know you're gonna give me feedback and you're gonna give me your thoughts. All right. But listen, it's been real. It's been good. It's been a good night. I appreciate all the people that were on here. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate, being engaging in the conversation. All right. So remember, here at the fifth, your future is forward. My future is forward. The future is forward. Thank y'all for watching the fifth. Like, subscribe, share my channel. Most importantly, y'all be blessed. Take care.